What are the key drivers of innovation in the workplace, and how can you take advantage of them to prepare for the workforce of the future? Wake up, leaders. This is Glen, Guyton, your cultural futurist and keynote speaker, helping you to unlock the power of your people. It's time for our executive coffee break. I have my beverage in hand. I hope you have yours too. They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your workplace culture and your beverage. I'm drinking coffee this morning. I think I need the caffeine. I think it helps me get through the day. Now, my goal is to equip you with effective strategies to foster a culture of innovation, reduce workplace stress, and elevate team performance. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. So, my question for today is, what are the drivers of innovation in the workplace? Are you willing to do the hard work that it takes to create the environment where innovation can occur? It takes you. You have to do the hard work. There's no secret magic formula for workplace innovation. It takes hard work. There's no semaglutide for replacing the processes that you need to go through in organizational development. Hope that didn't offend anybody, but you got to put in the work. And many times we hire consultants, we hire futurists like me, and we think they're going to sprinkle the organizational cultural dust and everything's going to work out magically. It doesn't happen that way. You got to put in some work. So I want to share 7 things with you today to think about if you want a more innovative workplace. And these things all work together in harmony. I've seen some of these things work in areas that I've been a part of. I've also tried to do the quick approach. Hey, we're going to put this new magic formula in and we're going to change our workplace. I did that when I was in the Air Force. We had these process efficiency studies called action workouts. And my commander at the time, that was how he was going to get promoted, I believe, is, hey, we're going to do an action workout. We're going to improve these workplaces and they're going to be innovative and these changes are going to stick. And I doubt if those changes lasted to the new commander. I mean, we did some good things. Don't get me wrong. I love anytime we come up with these actionable processes. So like the action workout, if we want quick change, but we don't only want quick change. We want sustainable change in organizations. So let me get with these 7 principles that I want to share with you today. First of all, psychological safety. People have to be in the right mind space in order for innovation to happen. So the environment in which you create has to be one that allows people's minds to work freely, to be creative, to be relaxed so that they can take risk without fear of judgment or negative consequences. If we want innovation, we have to create this healthy psychological environment. Number 2, leadership matters. I say that at the end of all of my executive coffee breaks. Leadership matters, so you might as well get good at it. Yes, you should. Transformational leadership, and I won't get into what that means right now, but transformational leadership is key. Transformational leaders inspire employees to exceed expectation. Part of that is building trust. You can check out my book on building trust and the importance of that in organizations, but it starts with leadership. If you have poor leaders who aren't innovative, who are fearful, you'll never have an innovative workplace. Look at, it's football season. So think about football coaches. The coach makes all of the difference. You need skilled players too, but a coach can hinder the development of skilled players. Number 3, autonomy and empowerment. This comes with building trust, but you got to let people do their jobs. Don't try to micromanage people. Empower people to do their jobs. Set out a compelling vision for them and let them create. I heard a wonderful quote about if you want to inspire people to be seafarers, and I don't remember the exact quote, but if you want to inspire people to be seafarers, to travel and to adventure, you don't teach them how to build boats, but you wake up within them a longing desire for the sea. You know, you paint the vision of what you want them to do, and then they'll build the boats. They'll find out how to get there. Don't teach them how to build a boat, because they'll build a boat and like, I don't want to go anywhere. I just like this boat. I'm going to sit on this boat. Go to Amsterdam. You'll see a number of boats that don't go anywhere. They just sit next to the dock and people live on them. They're not travel boats. They're houseboats. So you can teach people to build a boat, and they might just build a houseboat. Or you can say, hey, I want you to have this intense, immense desire for adventure and travel. And hey, we're going to build a boat that can go across the ocean. Next is organizational culture. All these things kind of fit together. You want to create a culture of open communication, willingness to experiment, and a tolerance for failure. I like that piece most of all, a tolerance for failure. You got to break a few eggs, right? If you're going to make an omelet, you heard that, it's a cliche, but it's true. People have to break things. People have to try wrong things in order for innovation to occur. Every swing is not going to be a home run. I mean, you think about basketball percentage. If you're shooting 50% from the field, you're great, but you're failing half of the time. What if the coach demanded, every player on this team, you need to make 80% of your shots? No one would shoot the ball, right? Or they would be really safe, and they would not have the volume that they need to get the points that they need. Baseball, if you're a 300 hitter, you're great, right? A 300 hitter, he's hitting a third of his balls, right? A third of the hits, but he's missing 70% of them. So every time he gets up to bat, he's gonna miss 7 times. So every 10 times that he swings. But if you're a 300 hitter in baseball, you're great, you're excellent. So we need to teach that in the industry, that swinging and missing is okay, but you got to swing. You got to swing, baby. You got to swing. Let's see what else. Diversity and inclusion. Now, calm down for those of you that don't like the term DE&I. This is not about race, but it's about, again, diverse experiences, diverse skills, diverse talents. You got to bring in some creative people that see the world differently from you if you want to be innovative. If you want to have an innovative workplace, everyone can't have the same background. Everyone can't have the same thought process. When I've led teams, I've worked with some people that thought exactly like me, and they were good to help me hype me up. But I had people that thought different from me. They were more critical of my ideas. And you know what that helped me do? That helped me develop better ideas, because I knew that if I could bring in the doubters, that my idea was good. If I could get the accountants and those that were really meticulous about process on board, that meant I thought through my program in a really healthy way. And so we need diversity of thought. We need diversity of skills and diversity of viewpoints. All these things play into creating this innovative workplace. We can't just have all one demographic in a number of ways, all one way of processing information. We have to mix these things up if we want to think outside the box, and people can build off each other's ideas. There's a free flow and open sharing of ideas and experiences, and people will say, hey, I never thought of it this way, but now that you've said that, well, let's do this, let's tweak it this way. That's why diversity and inclusion is so wonderful. Some people hate it, but man, it's great, especially if you want to be creative and innovative. You see things in ways that you've never seen them before. Learning opportunities. Let's go to, I think I'm on number 6, learning opportunities and development. Continuous learning. You know, you've heard that. We got to continue to train people, and just be careful about overtraining people. You don't want people all over the place. Be really focused about your training. Be strategic about your training, but help people to grow and learn, and to learn more in their area, to get a depth of knowledge. That's sometimes we talk about learning and development opportunities, and we try to give people this width of knowledge. Sometimes people need a depth of knowledge. And so you got to figure out what your team needs. Do you need a more variety of knowledge? And that, again, comes from inclusive hiring and hiring diverse people. You may get that broader spectrum of knowledge, but sometimes you need to go deeper, like you go down, get down. I need to find out how to dig deep. I need to go beyond the surface level so I can be competitive, and I can add just that little bit of extra stuff that other teams may not have, other organizations might not have. You know, I like cooking. Do you like cooking? I love cooking. I want to be a chef at one point. Didn't do it because I didn't want to work on Saturdays. Is that okay? Like, I really want to like own a restaurant. I even worked in a couple of restaurants. But you know what? If you're in the food industry, you have to work on Saturdays and Sundays all the time. And I want to have a normal life. I want to have weekends. So I didn't do it. But, you know, if you're seasoning food, you want a depth of flavor, right? You don't just sprinkle the salt and pepper on top, but you want to combine some other flavors. You want to have a depth of flavors so that people can really appreciate the food that you're cooking. So, you know, you may like dry age a steak in addition to season it to get more intense flavor. So sometimes as we think about learning and development, we want to give people that depth of knowledge of that flavor, that depth of flavor to get that innovation in there. And number 7, I would say cross-functional collaboration is important. I'm actually working with some teams now on helping them break down workplace silos. Teams have to talk to each other. I've worked with software programs where you can tell the developers didn't talk to each other, and so the individual components don't talk to each other well because the teams didn't talk to each other well. And so you have great programs that are siloed, but there are communication problems between the software that you're using, the software suite. But what if those teams had talked together, talk to one another? If you had good cross-functional collaboration, if they floated back and forth between teams, then that software suite will work together seamlessly. And that's what we want to do in our team, because then it makes it better. Makes it more innovative. Not that you can't do great work in silos, but they're silos. And if you put those energies together, if you combine them and teams work together, you have something that's great, that's seamless for the team and also for the end user like myself. So think about that. How well are your teams communicating with one another? And what can they learn from each other? So it's really important for us to break down those workplace silos to create this environment, to create this culture. Again, number 4, I said, was organizational culture. How do we mesh all these things together to create this environment where people are thriving, they're creative, there's a free flow of ideas that will drive success for your industry, your organization, and it will also make people say, "Hey, I love being a part of this team." I've stayed in workplaces that I was frustrated with because I had a great team, because the team was doing so well. You know, the bosses didn't like some of the bosses, but I liked the team that I worked with, and that made me stay because I want to see them succeed, and I want to succeed along with them. We were doing this work together. So think about those things. You know, what are the key drivers? Workplace innovation, psychological safety, transformational leadership, autonomy and empowerment, organizational culture, learning and development opportunities, and cross-functional collaboration. Those are your 7. I hope that helps you. As always, let's not forget, better leaders get better results. So to every one of you leading the charge for a more supportive and inclusive workplace, I leave you with this. Stay bold, stay inspired, and remember that your actions today shape the culture of tomorrow. My name is Glen Guyton. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.